Well, let's talk about that part of the argument now, because Congressman, after hearing your fellow lawmaker, Scott Rigell, Republican, are you worried you're beginning to lose the battle? Because he says, come on, we've lost the fight, we've made our point, it's time to move on and fight another way.
Well, we're fighting for fairness for the American people. You know, President Obama has delayed about 19 different parts of this law over the last 8 months. One of those was a delay of what we call the employer mandate, the idea that the big companies in this country don't have to abide by a portion of Obamacare. We think if it's not ready for prime time for big companies, individuals should have that same break, and we should delay the individual mandate as well.
But see, we also should make sure,
Carol, hold on, Carol, we also should make sure that Congress is equally under this law like the American people are. If it's so good for the American people, it should be good for Congress. And so I disagree with Scott. I like him a lot. He's a friend. But I am fighting for fairness of the American people here, and that's the latest negotiation that's on the table. Why wouldn't we fight for that? Who wants Congress to be treated differently than the American people? If people are so angry, like you say, and rightfully so, they should be angry that they have to live under a law that Congress doesn't.
Well, I'm just asking you why that should be connected to the federal budget. Let me run this other thing by you.
Sure.
Another Republican, Devin Nunes of California, he's one of the Republicans also slamming his party for this divisive approach. Let's listen.
Now that we have made the jump, set ourselves on fire and made the jump, we are now in the valley of death. We decided to go into the valley. We have to run together. We have to stay together in order to fight the onslaught that's coming from the White House.
So the congressman goes on to say the Democrats are giddy about this government shutdown because it's hurting Republicans. So,
well,
if that's
all I can
true,
tell you is my observation on the floor of the House last night. They didn't seem giddy. They seemed pretty frustrated because we continue to offer plans for keeping the government open and parts of the government open, and they just voted last night against veterans. They just voted last night against research at the NIH. We are for these things. We are for keeping the government open. We are against Obamacare. And pretty soon this is all going to come together in the debt ceiling.
I'm pretty sure the Democrats are for those things too, but it's this piecemeal approach they object to, like funding the parts of the government that are non-controversial, that Republicans like, and then not funding the other parts.
If they're for it, Carol, what does the process matter? Keep it open. Keep parts of it open. Let veterans go see the World War II memorial like they've been trying to do for the last 2 days. It's real simple.
This is really how we want to decide our federal budget? I mean, really, is this the right way to go?
Well, the wrong way to go is for the Senate not to produce a budget for the last 4 years. As a member of the Budget Committee, I'm very proud of the budget that we produced. It balanced in 10 years. It balanced, I think, 1 year even before the 10-year window. And we've always seen from the Democrats and the President our budget proposals that never balance. And what we're fighting for at the end of the day, Carol, I don't know if you have children yet, or I'm sure you don't have grandchildren. You look much too young.
Thank you.
But we're fighting for them. Every child born today has $60,000 of debt assigned to them. That's their assignment of the public debt.
If you're fighting,
and it continues to go on. It's not even the $17 trillion now, Carol. It's the $100 trillion that's on the way if we don't reform the way we do business here in Washington. And that's really what this fight's about.
No, this fight's about Obamacare in your mind. It's not about reforming the system.
Well,
You're not talking about reforming our tax system.
Carol, do you have any idea how much this law is going to cost? You know, it's an insidious law because it's a lie.
Do you know how much it costs every day the government is partially shut down? You're costing taxpayers millions and millions of dollars.
I understand that. And Obamacare is going to cost the children of tomorrow $2 trillion just in the next 10 years. So Obamacare hurts this economy. Obamacare hurts this country much more than any government shutdown.
Seriously, I mean, the debt ceiling fight is coming up. Obamacare hurts the country worse than not raising the debt ceiling?
Seriously, Carol.
Because that's not what a bunch of Wall Street bankers told the president yesterday.
Well, I had a lot of CEOs in my office yesterday, and they didn't share with me the same vision that apparently some CEOs shared with the president. Because you know what? The CEOs that were in my offices yesterday were mothers and fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers as well. And every generation, Carol, including ours, to date, has cared more about the future generation than ourselves. And if we don't change our ways, if we don't work together, if we don't get government spending under control so we don't put more on our plate now.
We're not remotely working together.
Well, the one way we don't help the children of tomorrow is by putting $2 trillion more on their plate. And that's what Obamacare spends over the next 10 years. It's an insidious law. It's a lie. It is not providing more affordable health care. People are losing their health care.
I think most Americans would say fight that fight separate from the federal budget. Don't partially shut down the government. Don't make things worse by fighting the same fight over and over. Right, we're going in circles, right. That's what you guys are doing.
No, you're part of the problem. The media is part of the problem as well.
Oh, come on. That's so easy. That's so easy.
Carol, you're beautiful, but you have to be honest as well.
Okay, I think we should leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me, Congressman Todd Rokita.